Hi guys, welcome to another episode. Today I want to talk about a theoretical lesson on a topic that in my opinion is very important, which is how to use the internet. Nowadays, internet is of course one of the most important tools in our lives, both for work, interaction, maintaining contact, organizing stuff, staying updated and all that stuff. But sometimes it can also become very confusing and very time wasting because a lot of people use the internet in the wrong way. The good thing is that there are a lot of information on the internet, so if we need to understand and discover something, we can just type something into YouTube, Google, or Facebook, or whatever, and find out exactly how to solve a problem, fix something, learn something. On the other hand, there are so many information and so many different opinions that it can become confusing. People kind of get lost because they don't know who to follow and who to listen to, so they usually go to the bigger names and just stick to whatever these names say. But it gets to a point where also these big names, there are so many and they're all saying different things regarding the same topic, and people get lost completely because they're like, okay, I don't really know how to deal with this, if I should listen to him, to the other person, and so maybe I should listen to him for a while, and then after months I figure out that that's not working for me, so I'll listen to the other one, then I go to another. So this can become very confusing and it can waste a lot of our time. And the way I always use the internet, and that really helped me to make a choice and just follow one path. I picked one and followed one, which means among all the people and all the drummers and all the information that I've seen and that I know that exists on the internet, I get inspired from very few. I get inspired from all of them, but just a very few of them have a way of playing, have a way of creating music, have a way of doing certain things in certain ways. And so I just pick that one person. For example, for a topic, you can follow many different drummers for independence music, learning independence on drums, but then who really represent how you want to play is the one you should pick and follow. So there are many people that play blast beats, that play jazz, that play funky, that play all these kind of things, but the best way to do this is not to go on YouTube and type in how to play blast beats and then watch all the videos with 10,000 people saying 10,000 different things, but it's who is my favorite drummer that plays that type of drumming. Is it James Payne? Is it George Colliers? Is it Cream? Is it all these drummers? Just stick with one of them. Just choose the one that represent your playing the most and just stick with what he's doing. So sometimes then we pick up someone and the way he practices, the way he does things, the way he thinks, the way he concentrates, the way his body is made is too different from ours, and that doesn't work. So of course there will be moments in which you'll have to change and just go from one side and choose another instructor that can teach you and help you fixing your issues. But at least you concentrate on one thing and you really go deep into someone's mind and way of doing things. That eventually is, of course, the one that's also inspiring you the most. So that's the best way. Being a little bit of a fanboy of a drummer or of a specific artist or someone that is teaching you, it's much better, because when you get a little bit under the skin of what you see, you understand much more artistically, musically, technically, and and there's where you discover the big thing about this artist, and that's the big lesson for you also, is where you understand, okay, he works in that way because he thinks in that way, but then I can apply that concept on myself because I think in this way and I'm physically different. So the way I always think of and always remind to my students this word, pick one and follow one, because that's the best way to really learn something, to stay focused on something and not keep changing, keep going, oh, but that guy said that and this guy said this other thing. Just listen to a drummer, listen to a musician, and pick it and say, okay, this is exactly how I would like to sound, or this is more similar to how I would like to sound, rather than a million other drummers. Even if they're told to be better drummers and they're the best, this is the one that works for me. Follow him, try to get in touch with him, try to, check out more videos and more stuff as possible, listen to more music as possible of that certain artist, and pick up a lot of things from him. Then of course, if you want to learn 10 things and there are 10 drummers that inspire you in 10 different things, that's great. You can pick those 10 drummers, 20, 30, 100, but make sure that every one of these guys is like doing a path for you, okay? You're following one's direction, and don't just go on the internet and say, how to play a blast beat. Boom, videos with more views. Maybe that's wrong, maybe that's not even how you want to play the blast beat, but hey, that's what came up and that's what I get. And it doesn't really create your personality at one point, and it's just very confusing because it's maybe you won't always find the right information or something that works for you, and you waste a lot of time. So the way this suggestion for how to use the internet is pick one and follow one. It's a very important sentence for me. It has been a very important sentence for every time that I had to figure out and do things. I create my personality behind this because I picked, specific things of many drummers and create my own sound with this, instead of just going and getting lost among 100,000 videos and information on the internet and just be copying one and then copying another and then doing what the other guy said and so on. So this is a very important information in my opinion. Also because when we don't know things and we just listen to a bunch of people, a bunch of videos, a bunch of podcasts and that stuff, we don't really get to understand if the person that's speaking is authentic in what he's saying, if it really mastered what he's talking about. And instead, when you get more into one artist and one specific person and you watch many different videos about this person, you can understand if this person is authentic, if it's just something that he got from other people or something that he came up with, or if it's a really a person with knowledge that really knows what it's saying and it really knows what's going on and how to do something. Okay, instead now the internet also gives the freedom of being, everybody can be a teacher, everybody can share their opinion, and we listen to everyone's opinion and we think that our opinion is better or wrong compared to another opinion. Instead, when you follow one person and you check out 10, 15, 30, 100 videos, you understand if this person knows exactly what he's talking about or not, and you can follow a more secure path. Okay, you know exactly that person is someone that really knows what he's saying, because in 10, 15, 20 videos he always gives something, a knowledge of something that really opens your mind and works for you. Then that's the path to take. So pick one and follow one, and get informed, read about it, and really master. So you start from listening and hearing what he plays, and then you follow him and you start to understand how he thinks, checking out interviews and lessons and all that stuff. And then when you get deep into this person, you know if he is actually authentic and if he is a good mentor for what you have to do or not. It'll be very easy to understand that. It'll just take a few videos, but again, it's gonna be something that makes your journey and the way you use the internet way more secure, instead of just being in the pool of people's opinion around the web. So this is my suggestion for you guys to how to use the internet. Just go deep into this information and this person and people that you're looking up to on the internet. Pick one, follow one, write down the word, put it next to your laptop so that you never forget this. So hopefully this will help you guys to waste less time on the internet and be more productive in your researches and finding your mentor.